Hammersmith. How very delightful. You probably all recognise me as the waiter who had all of his lines cut from the first Sherlock Holmes film. And then didn't find out until the premiere. Nonetheless, it was a portrayal that has since revolutionised the way everyone acts in period detective fiction when they've got nothing to say. Now, I've arrived here tonight, as I suspect you have, as I arrive everywhere. I arrive in London furious. I mean, you can all see how angry I am. Very angry man. Whenever I'm trying to get anywhere in London, I get angry. You know, if I'm on a bus that's late or a tube that seems to stop without explanation, or there's just a traffic jam, I always get angry, and I always blame the same person. I don't even know if it's fair, but I always blame Boris. Right? Anything that goes wrong when I'm out and about in London, I blame Boris. I blame him for roadworks. Even if you hear that there's somebody under a train, you sort of think, well, I presume that Boris was just cycling carelessly past a tube station. Hit someone had gone over the barriers down the escalators onto the track. I will happily blame that man for anything. I mean, honestly, I just don't understand what he does. What does Boris actually do? He always looks absolutely shattered. Always looks as if he's just come round from a general anaesthetic. Do you ever find yourself looking at a picture of Boris and thinking, there's something not quite right there, is there? There's something that's missing. What's wrong about this picture? Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what it is. It's the fact that he's not wearing pyjamas. Now, let me just say this to you, Hammersmith. I have 4 children. 4 children, the oldest of whom is 4. By all means, do the maths. I've done it myself. 4 occasions. I have 4 children. I don't say 4 so that you can congratulate me or commiserate with me. I don't say it because I've gone mad and have forgotten what all the other numbers are. How many sugars do you want with the tea? 4. How many legs should a pair of trousers have? 4. How are you? 4. I say it merely so that you can understand just where it is that I'm coming from when I stagger out here onto this stage tonight. It means I'm not really in a position to do sort of groovy young material about me and my Canadian flatmate snorting cocaine together off the back of a shared prostitute. I do not live in a flat, and nor do I consort with Canadians. I've got absolutely nothing against them in principle. They've got as much right to be here as anybody, and whatever it is they do, they seem to do it quietly. I'm cut off. I really am cut off. I mean, the lives that other people lead. Look at yourselves, for instance. You're having an evening out. I mean, admittedly, it's in Hammersmith, but nonetheless, it's an evening out. That is absolutely unthinkable to my wife and I. You know the way in magazines, they, Photoshop people, say they look perfect, and you end up feeling envious of what is a completely unrealistic ideal. That is how I feel about pretty much anything I see or hear about other people's lives. You did what? You nipped out for milk? What, on your own? Aren't you Bear Grylls? Just listening to what my childless, unmarried friends get up to makes me feel like an Iranian housewife reading a biography of Paris Hilton. Just one of the people that lives in your house is a baby. You just lose all sense, immediately, of what is and is not appropriate behaviour. I remember when my oldest child was only about 3 days old, bumping into my bleary-eyed wife on the landing, and she said, "I've just had a bowl of cornflakes on the lavatory." Just from nowhere. Within a matter of days, we've been reduced to the state, if not animals, then undergraduates. It's terrifying. It doesn't matter how you've lived your life up to that point, how tidy you've tried to be, how sophisticated. Suddenly you've got one of those in the house, that's it, it's all gone. The place, it's just suddenly awash with mystery fluid. There's so much fecal matter suddenly dotted and strewn about where you live. I mean, you become completely numb to the stuff, just horrifyingly blasé. You can stand there looking at something that's been done on your own bed and think, Well, we don't need to change the sheets for that. It's only a small turd, isn't it? It's hardly worth wasting a flush, is it? Pop it in the waste paper basket. Stick a crisp packet over it, in case. People whose friends have had children, they look at them sometimes and go, God, they've really changed, haven't they? They've really mellowed. They haven't mellowed, they are broken. Oh, he's really calmed down, hasn't he? He used to be so ambitious. He's much calmer now. That's really... Of course he's not ambitious anymore. There's simply no point in being ambitious anymore. What is the point of dreaming about Hollywood if you can't even finish your bloody muesli before lunchtime? It's not possible to finish your muesli before lunchtime now because the entire morning just consists of being interrupted. When you've got that many young children charging about the place, you get interrupted so often that eventually the interruptions themselves start getting interrupted. You know, desperately trying to clean all the milk off the floor after breakfast, or the food that hits it at lunchtime doesn't splash, and then someone opens up the freezer and gets a bag of peas out and starts spilling them all over the floor, you know, desperately trying to sweep them up, and then someone ominously shouts, "I'm painting," from the hallway. You know. Run out there, find they've got hold of a loo brush and are just rubbing it against the walls. It is 5:45 in the morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, haven't I got myself worked up into yet another state? I do wonder, actually, in retrospect, if I haven't slightly underplayed the work that our nanny does. Well, hey-ho. Hammersmith, aren't you lovely? God bless. Good night.